The Legacy of Wisdom project gathers and publishes answers to many of humanity's most pressing questions from some of our most experienced and profound leaders.
This whole sense of mission, clearly you get to a point where you say, I'm motivated. There's something on fire in me, alive in me, and that's driving you and keeping you alive.
Yeah.
And how would a person who's sort of lost that, there's a lot of people who are sort of lost, who might be looking at this, how would they refine that sense of motivation? Your inspiration is to infect other people somehow.
Well, I have, my work is really in three different compartments that I follow very strictly. That first of all, as a dancer, I could easily develop a personal style and then teach other people my style, which is the way most dance is taught. If you study ballet, you learn the style of ballet. If you study modern dance, you learn the style of modern dance, or whatever, postmodern dance, whatever it is. And so I've come to understand that that in my art form, our bodies are our instrument. And therefore, the unique aspect of the body being your instrument is that you have to learn something about your instrument. Now, you can either learn through imitation, which is hierarchical, because if you imitate, who are you imitating? That's something separate from yourself. So how do you make it something that is valid for yourself? So you have to learn about the body. Well, I did human dissection for a year to learn, how does this instrument work? And then it's my responsibility as a teacher to try to help people become scientists. How do my joint systems work? If I do this movement, how is that different than this movement? Oh, if I keep rigid in my scapula back here and I do this, I'm holding back. But if I let go, I'm expressing something different. But how do you let go? Well, you have to understand, oh, I've got the scapula back here. It's rigid, something's blocked back there. So I would try to invent the knowledge about the body, which in school you don't get that. The only body activity you get is sports, and it's competitive. So that's part of the learning experience, which in itself is a philosophy, which is I want to help you understand your body so that when you move, it's your movement. And if it's your movement and I do this, it's different than if I do that. So then my next job is, how do you connect movement to feelings? So the philosophy there is that you teach through experience, not because I tell you to feel a certain way, but the movement generates a feeling, which comes from your own experience, not because I taught you to feel this way in this dance. If the dance is authentically created, the activity will generate the feeling, and you will be responsible. You will be the participant. So that's a whole philosophy of breaking down the hierarchy. And I perhaps should say something here about that, because I think it's very Jewish. I come from a Jewish family, Jewish background, during a period of extreme anti-Semitism before World War II. I wasn't accepted in a particular college I wanted to go to because the Jewish quota was filled. When we moved into our house in Winnetka, Illinois, the neighbors pulled their shades down. When children had birthday parties, we were friends at school, but I wasn't allowed in their houses. So that experience of being Jewish impacted me in a very positive way. It was both a curse and a blessing. And it was a blessing because through my own experience, I learned what it felt like not to be able to be accepted for who I was. And it affected every decision I made on every dance I've ever done. When there was the Watts riots, I was right there working with the blacks and brought the blacks together with the whites, and we developed a dance together of reconciliation. And my heart was fully into it. So the philosophy of dance is something that one can look at, and in looking at it, match that up to my original intentions to stay alive a little longer. And then there's the art process of dance. So we get to that as we build the science and the point of view of the philosophy. And now, how do you create art? I don't choreograph anymore. I used to choreograph because that's what I was taught. Somebody has an idea, and then they get a whole group of people together to realize my idea. Now, you can either do it by developing all the steps and all the patterns and teaching the people that you're working with a company to do those steps and patterns, and I don't work that way. I have an idea, I develop a group of people who will be interested in that idea. My responsibility is to generate resources to work with. Here's an idea and here's some activities, let's see where that takes us. Then I can develop a score, which tells you what to do, but not necessarily how to do it. And then we perform it. And then it either worked in all ways and it was a grand success, or parts of it worked and other parts of it didn't work, so then we recycle. I worked on a piece called Intensive Care when my husband was in the hospital, and he had an operation that went bad, and we didn't know from one day to the next whether he would live or die that day. And like most dances that I do, they come as a way of coping with discomfort, and how can I make it better? And so I did a dance called Intensive Care that was based on Larry's experience in the hospital, not knowing whether he would live or die. And it took us a year to develop that piece because we were constantly trying to recycle and recycle and recycle. And then out of that, I learned a process. And the process that I learned was that in order for a healing to take place, you have to go through 5 stages. First, you have to identify what the issue is. The issue is, in this case, am I going to live or die? Then you confront that. And there's a lot of resistance in a confrontation of an uncomfortable issue. And as you confront it, the confrontation itself will release. And then after release comes change. And then after change comes integration. So I learned a process through a real life experience, rather than having a preconceived idea about something and then making that happen. The process is what creates the end result.